And then the puppy's name is
Luca.
Luca. And then it was saying you were interested in our Puppy Head Start program.
Well, I'm between Puppy Head Start or just like the puppy board and train. I guess like based on what the website says, I understand the differences, but I just want to know what would be more beneficial for him.
Okay. What are your goals with Luca?
Well, Luca is our first dog, and he's like half Australian Shepherd, half Poodle. So what we've been reading is that like Australian Shepherds, they're so active. And he right now with like he's nipping, he's a puppy. We got him when he was like what, 8 weeks.
Yeah, right.
So just basically a little bit of everything, like potty training, crate training. Like crate training, we tried doing it the first week and we were not getting any sleep at night because he just would start barking, wouldn't stop. We did when he would fall asleep and he would wake up barking, we did the traditional take him out potty, put him back in, but it was like the same thing over and over again. Bark, consistent barking. Right now it's like the nipping. It's getting, I don't want to say out of control, but it's dominating.
We know he's teething, so.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be a consistent behavior.
Yeah.
And just like understanding boundaries. I think I have made a list. Like he needs to understand like when we're eating, he needs to not jump on us. Like right now, we know that when we come home, he jumps on us, he's excited. But like, then it's like a regular thing. Like we're eating and he's jumping. We're eating and he's doing this. Or I'm trying to get dressed in the morning and he's jumping on me. Like I'm trying to put pants on and he's jumping.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a little bit. Yeah, anything, leash walking.
Leash walking.
Yeah, right now, he's, I don't know, like putting on the harness can sometimes be a hassle.
Okay.
And then like he's biting on the leash, of course. Walking, he wants to lead. He kind of just like charges. Then when I try to pull him back, of course, like the harness, I'm guessing like kind of like pushes his little neck and then he starts like choking. But I haven't like mastered the me leading. Like I haven't mastered that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he?
14 weeks, I believe.
A little baby.
Yeah. 14 or 15 weeks. 14?
14, maybe 15.
Maybe 15. Yeah, because
Yeah,
June 9th, he was born.
Okay.
So if I count the weeks, it's 14 to 15.
Anything else? So I've got kennel, nipping, potty, jumping, leash walking. Anything else?
Nipping, biting. Barking, I don't want to say we have an issue with barking, but yeah, he doesn't bark like when I've taken him on walks and then like dogs bark at him. He doesn't bark.
That man is struggling to get on the couch.
I know. He doesn't bark, but when we try to discipline him and we're like, no, this, then he starts barking, right? I feel like it's when we raise our voices.
Yes.
And we try to discipline him, that's when he starts barking.
Got it.
Luca.
And yeah, of course, right now he's trying to bite the sofa.
Anything else?
I think that's it, babe. I think that's all I like covered. That's all I wrote down. Yeah, not a lot of digging. But yeah, table manners, fighting furniture, leash walking, crate training, barking, jumping, and potty training. Yep, I think that's it.
All right. So this is all basic, normal stuff you're getting from your puppy. Again, like he said, just teething. I wouldn't call it like dominance or anything like that. It's just, just they need to bite something. They need to work their mouths. So for the board and train or the puppy board and train, it's more intense than like the daycare and train, because the puppy Head Start program, the big difference is that you don't get any follow-up lessons, and then you'll only get videos if we have the time to do a video, but your puppy gets trained. Now the board and train program, you get an hour-long video for every week. Luca's with us,
Okay.
training, obedience-wise, commands, and then if we run into some behavioral issues, when I mean behavior, I mean like nipping, nothing crazy. In the videos, you'll see how we address them just to get the training done. And then that comes with our follow-up time and one-on-one in person to talk about what he learned, how to address biting, what we find that works with Luca, and what to do kennel training. So if you're wanting like, because there's a certain expectations, right? So Luca is just 14 weeks, right? Now for puppies, what we like owners to have to focus on is one, do a little food training here and there. But again, it's just positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement has a very low ceiling, because let's say you do a little session right there in that little area with Luca of like sit down, good, place, good, stay, good, Luca come, good, and Luca's phenomenal. Once you enter outside, you might see a little a dip in like the attention, right? Sometimes not all dogs are different. Some dogs are obsessed with food. Some dogs are like, I know you have food, but there's a dog over there. I can't see that dog later. I can get the food later. So I'm going to choose a dog. And that's where owners struggle, right? So again, positive only has a very low ceiling, but it's good for things you want to see, like the sit. Good. Luca's a boy, right?
Yes.
Good boy. Then you reward. It's good for stuff like that. So that's like a little part of raising a puppy is like your training sessions here and there to get the foundation done. For nipping, pottying, and jumping, those are more like rules and boundaries and behavior. So we have obedience and then we have behavior. Do you know the difference between the two?
No.
So think of, for humans, obedience is math, science, social studies, English. And then behaviors: don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, don't kill, don't steal, right? So if I'm having trouble, I guess if I'm a psycho, like a killer, right? You wouldn't teach me math skills to make me not kill people. They don't connect, right? So if he's jumping and you say sit, he'll sit, but he's still thinking about it, and it will never fix the problem because he's still thinking about it in the sitting position, right? When he's jumping on you, that's something you want to address specifically of don't jump on me. I don't care if you sit, stand, lay down, just don't jump. So what for puppies, you really want to focus more on the behavior stuff, like the nipping, like the jumping, and like potty, right? That's all you should focus on, and just enjoy Luca while you can, while he's still small and cute, right? So all these things will be covered in our board and train program. Luca would be kennel trained, potty trained, leash walking. So leash walking is, for us, we use gentle leaders. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're the ones that go around the nose and back, right? Yeah, we like to use those because you're not choking your dog. Harnesses are good, except they promote pulling. So we just had a consultation today with the German Shepherd a year and a half. And this German Shepherd has been on a harness ever since puppy, right? Now the German Shepherd has reactivity issues because harnesses are used for pulling, right? It's an oxymoron when you see a no pull harness, but they're used for pulling. Huskies wear harnesses to pull sleds. We use harnesses in protection training to create frustration and aggression. So the idea for protection training is we pull back on the harness and then we release, because they have what is called opposition reflex. Again, when you pull back, they want to go forward. If you pull left, they go right. If you pull right, they go left. If you pull forward, they want to go back against the pressure. They always want to go against it. So think of it as something similar to like those movie scenes, or maybe you've seen in real life, where like guys are getting into it. So a group of guys getting into it at a bar, and then a group of their friends tries to hold the other guy back. It makes that guy want to go even more intense, right? It's the same thing. So we don't recommend harnesses at all if you're trying to fix leash pulling. We do gentle leader, and we do videos here of how to get your puppy acclimated to the gentle leader, how to use it, what to do if your puppy does this, when you're putting the gentle leader on, all these other fun things. And we also do training walks with the gentle leader, just so the puppy is starting to recognize this gentle leader as second nature, right?
Now, is the gentle leader something that we're always going to have to use, or it could later turn into like just a collar?
It depends. Because the gentle leader doesn't fix anything, it helps you control better, right?
Yeah.
Not a correctional tool, doesn't correct anything. It's just more control to avoid collapsing a trachea and to create frustration or like reactivity as the puppy's growing older. Now, there's a lot of tools out there, right? So I don't know if you know, but we use, are you aware that we use e-collars and prong collars, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So our, I guess, road to success maybe is gentle leader, and then maybe slip leash or slip chain, and then prong collar, and then e-collar, right? That's like the progression there, right? If you're trying to see what tool will work best, those are the tools we recommend if you're like trying to do like trial and error, see what worked best for Luca. But gentle leader would be used until, here and there we'll still see like adult dogs having gentle leaders and they're happy with that, right? It's just personal preference there. But again, dogs can still be pulling on the gentle leader and it'll just be a little bit of a hassle. But for puppies, you just have more control. So it just depends on what you want to move on to. Usually, here and there we'll have a puppy boarding trainer, a puppy daycare, and puppy head start puppy. And after they're done, like right now we have a puppy named Pepper. She's a silver lab, gray lab. She completed her puppy head start program. They went on vacation for a few months. She came back. She's 6-7 months now. She's old. So at 6 months, that's when we start e-collar training. And they're like, hey, we're ready for the next step. So now she's on e-collar training because now they want off-leash stuff. They want walking next to them. They take 5 steps. Pepper takes 5 steps, all this fancy stuff. So like I said, Luca's only 14 weeks. So I would just, again, focus on these little things. And then the leash walking is just doing the gently just to have better control for now until we move on to the next steps. Because the reason why we move on to, we start at 6 months is because the brain has developed enough to understand consequence or pressure, right? Too young, we can do younger. So like 4 months, we've done a 4-month-old Doberman puppy e-collar training. But it's more nuanced and it's not for the regular dog owner to kind of teach. It's for like the trainer because it's a lot of food and a lot of timing, and there's a progression to work your way up to the e-collar there. Any other questions so far?
No. Well, with e-collar, is that also just kind of like what you said? It doesn't really correct the beat. It doesn't teach them what they're doing wrong. It just corrects them at the moment.
E-collar for us, the way we use it is a teaching tool and a correcting tool. They're both.
Okay.
And we teach behaviors with e-collar as well.
Okay. And then that would also be something that he would have to wear always?
Correct. Because let's say you complete your e-collar program and he's great. You would still keep it on your walks because we can't predict what's going to happen on this walk, right? Maybe a car crash happens right next to you and you're walking on a busy street and Luca's terrified. Maybe he tries to take off and maybe he's big by then and maybe he pulls to the ground or he slips out the collar, or like maybe you get caught off guard and the leash just slips out your hand. Luca's running away. He's in flight mode. When dogs are in flight mode, they're literally thinking kill or be killed. So Luca, come, is not going to make him do the 180 and come back to you. You're going to need power in your e-collar to override the brain and force him to do that 180 and come back to you. So those are the reasons why it's on. Well, let's say right now, it's evening, you're in the home, he's not having any issues, he's just hanging out, then you don't need it on him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So far, no.
Okay. So for the potty training, it's just putting him on a schedule here. So it'll be, let me see, I think I have the schedule on my phone. So
I want to say potty, I want to say we have like 75% down. because right now what he has done, we've done like we did the progression like every hour, take him out, every 2 hours, take him out. Now it's like every 3 or 4 hours. And then we've noticed that he just runs to the door, starts barking, and like we kind of signal, okay, potty, and we go out. And
Yes.
at night, and I don't know if this is like, I know like everybody in a sense phrases differently. Like, do you guys suggest him sleeping in a kennel through the night or any other method? Because right now we ditched the crate just because he would cry at night. So he sleeps in my room. He sleeps through the night if we go to bed. Because right now I stop feeding him at 8. We go to bed at 10. I take him out like 9:30, last little potty break. We go to bed by 10, and he wakes up around 6. Sometimes he'll wake me up 4, 3 o'clock in the morning for a potty break, and then he'll go again. And for now, he hasn't done any disasters in my room. Kind of just like lays in bed. So that's why I'm wondering, like, should I adjust and have him move to kennel at night? Leave him like that? Because I do want to teach him to stay in the kennel sometimes throughout the day. Because there's times where we're both not home, or I'm at work, he's at school, and he needs to be alone. And right now we leave him in like a porch, but we've already seen like he fiddled with my mom. And he starts by the trimmings. He gets bored, so he starts being like mischievous.
Correct. So even though, do you guys work from home, or do you guys are home all the time, or?
I'm not like, that's why it's just been so hard, because like we honestly didn't think like it would be this much.
Yeah.
Like he needs a lot of attention, and like we try to like I rush home, or like he comes and he helps, but there's moments where he needs to have downtime. Like he needs to be by himself, and like on Sundays from like 6 a.m. until 2. So we have to leave him in the little porch area, but I know he does mischievous stuff. Like I know because when we come home and there's like dirt all over the floor, and there's that. So yeah.
So it'd definitely be using the kennel. So the kennel doesn't need to be used when you're not home. So right now, if you're like, we're gonna be home, maybe you get home, maybe you work the 9 to 5, you get home at 5:30, you spend some time with him, and then you put him in the kennel until bedtime, right?
Okay.
It's harder for a dog to be in a kennel and when you're home in another room versus when you leave, because they know you're right there. Like, let me out. You're home. Like, why am I in the kennel, right? So I would, as soon as possible, start practicing crate training while he's still small and he's not going to be big, and try to break out the crate and bend it, and then all the other mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd start crate training now. Get a small crate, one for his size, so that, because sometimes if a dog has to potty and they're in the crate, they go in the corner and they lay in the other corner and they're away from it, and then no blankets or anything like that. Now, although he's good at potty training, we don't recommend owners having their dog tell them when they need to potty, because then that's them making their own schedule. Does that make sense? So sometimes if a dog is whining or like by the door, and then you're like doing your own thing, you can't really focus on your puppy, you technically missed a signal, right? And Luca's gonna be thinking, hey, I let you guys know you didn't pay attention, so I'm gonna go over here, right? So that's why that's the issue of having your puppy make their own schedule versus you. So for us, what we do is 7 a.m. It's the water, and then go potty and breakfast. 9 a.m. is a go potty again, and then 9:45. Why did you say 9:45? Oh, I see. So at 9 a.m. 2:30. So once they get breakfast and they go potty, that's when the schedule starts. So at 9 is the next time we would take Luca out for a potty break. 9:45, even though it's not the 2 hours, we need to take him out at 9:45 to go potty, because that's when we do our training at 10. So after training, we would take him out, and then the timer resets, because it's like a 30-minute, 20-minute session. So then at 12:30, it's lunch and go potty, 2:30 go potty, 4:30 go potty, 6:30 go, and 8:30 go potty. So let's say at 2:30, or because let's say at 2:30 we take him out, and then the next outing is at 4:30. Let's say at 4. No, let's say at 4. Luca pees in the crate. He soiled the crate, right? You would actually leave Luca in there until 4:30. So 30 minutes, he has to deal with that, right? Because when we're training something, we need a positive and a negative. The negative is you're stuck in there and you need to deal with it. So he learns, oh man, like I had to go, no one listened to me, so I went. They'll come and clean me up. No one's coming, right? I had to deal with that for 30 minutes. I did not like it. Then we take him out, we clean him up, and then we potty, and we keep repeating this.
Mm-hmm.
They understand it because dogs don't want to ruin their what is it called, den, because they have den instincts. They don't want to ruin their den. They go somewhere else and they go sleep somewhere else. So you're probably never going to see Luca pee or urinate in your bedroom because that's where he sleeps. He wants to go somewhere else, like on the patio, and then he goes in the bedroom and sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
So we had one puppy. She made this puppy. It was crazy. This puppy made one mistake and never made a mistake again. He peed. He peed, and his side was glued to the kennel and just like this, like, oh my gosh, right?
Uh-huh.
After that, did not make a mistake again, right? All dogs are different. We've had puppies take quite a bit to adjust and realize that this is not a good thing. But here and there, it sounds like Luca already has a solid idea of not to go in the house. So that's pretty good. But that's how we would do it. Again, we're not having them make the schedule. We make the schedule. And we also feed water and food at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's only available at these times. So if we put food down and Luca maybe eats a little bit, right? We take the food away after like 5 minutes. He doesn't eat the rest of it. Because if it's free feeding, that means he's eating throughout the day, and we don't know when we'll have to potty because then that messes up the schedule. Same thing with water. We only give ounce per pound, and we only give it in the morning with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then if we do a little bit of walk, or if they're playing, if he's playing with the other puppies, then we'll give him water because one, he's gonna be tired. As long as you're keeping track of how much water and food you're giving him, you'll realize, okay, I gave him more water than usual. He might need an extra outing. And then also keep track of what color his urine is, right? If it's clear, that means he's overhydrated. If it's a dark yellow, that means he's getting enough water. What else? And then you want to practice separation because, like I said, kenneling him in another room while you're home. You want to get him used to being separated from you because and it's good you're not always home, because during COVID, when dog owners were getting puppies and they were working from home, we had one owner where we told him, hey, you're going to be home all the time. Create your puppy 9 to 5 in another room to practice when you go back to the offices, right? Some did, some didn't. And then they moved on to econ training with us. And then we noticed separation anxiety and a little bit of anxiety from them on lessons. The ones who did listen, they didn't have that anxiety, right? So you want to practice separation so you don't get Luca too attached to you and like destroying stuff out of separation anxiety or whining or barking when you leave. So it's good to practice it now while he's young, small, can't really break out of kennels, and you're home in another room to get him used to, like, when you guys have to leave, he's already because the only difference is that you guys are just leaving, right? Yeah. It's everything the same. It's just, oh, they're gone, same thing, I'm still in the kennel. If he's barking and doing all this nonsense, we recommend you put the puppy far away from you so you can sleep throughout the night. Put a blanket over and play it by ear. So if you find that Luca is starting to decrease as time goes on in the kennel from the barking, then that's good. If it's stable or increasing and getting worse, then we have to do something. If Luca barks in the middle of the night, You do not let Luca out. We don't do that here. When Luca's in the kennel in bed, that's it. No one comes out throughout the night to let the puppies out, because he's learning. I'm gonna bark, bark, bark. I know someone will let me out. Mom usually does, and then he gets what he wants. Okay, I got out. I get to play. Maybe because sometimes puppies. Like, I remember one time what was it? This one client said, "Yeah, I take my puppy out in the middle of the night, but then he wanted to play. He didn't want a potty. He just wanted to play, right?" So at night we don't do that here. They have to learn to hold it throughout the night. So that's something I would recommend stopping. Is if he's barking, ignore him, and only let him out on your terms and on your schedule, not when he wants. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Bye,
So
Chad.
with him staying overnight with you guys, like when is bedtime for him? And then when does he wake up? So you said 7 a.m. is getting up, leaving the kennel, going out for potty, eating. Then he goes to bed at like what, 10, 9?
So 6 to 7 is when we open.
Oh, okay.
And then, because what time do you guys do? 6?
We've been doing 6.
Okay.
Sometimes he stays until 7, but if he does, it's like a great day. But it's actually 6. Yeah.
So yeah, we open at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We start letting the dogs and running the dogs out at 6 a.m. But then the facility opens at 7, because we've been getting crazy amount of dogs now for the weekends for boarding. So to give us time to open, we run them out at 6. Bedtime is usually between 9 and like 8:30. That's when they're kenneled and going to bed, and that's the last outing. If you want a specific schedule set for Luca, so let's say this is the time I let him out. If you can continue this, that'd be great. We can do that, right? What else? Someone is here 24/7. Me. I'm here at the facility 24/7. So if I hear any barking or anything nonsense like that from any of our dogs, I go out and I correct the behavior, and then I go back to sleep. Right? I don't let them out. I say, don't bark, keep it quiet. Because here we can have 40 dogs here. Right? One time we had 40 dogs here, and then there was some construction guys fixing the heating or something like that, and all of them are silent. Right? It's always silent here. We don't allow whining, barking, growling, mounting, rough play. Or like rough play we allow, but nothing to get intense into a fight. So we're very structured and strict here. If he's here, he gets an hour activity, an hour rest, depending how potty training is going. For playtime, we let him out before play, and then in 15 minutes during play, we have to run him out again, and then we put him back into play. After play session is done, the hour, we run them out, and then we kennel them to rest.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Any other questions?
No. So technically, at his age, it's gonna be normal to like sleep at 9, wake up at 7. That's what it's supposed to be.
What do you mean? Like,
or like, is it? Because I was reading online, like they're supposed to be napping a lot, but I feel like he doesn't nap. I feel like he naps only if I don't know what he does when we're not here, but I feel like only when we're here and when like we want him to settle. But I feel like he's not. I've never seen him nap for more than like 45 minutes, because I feel like once he hears us moving, he'll like want to move with us.
oh, okay.
So I don't know. I feel like he's always like on alert to like what we're doing. And sometimes he just doesn't like get enough rest. So that's why I'm wondering.
I think he has some sort of.
I don't know if he has separation anxiety, but I just do feel like sometimes like when I do need to change in my room and I close my room door and I leave him here in the living room, it's the whining, it's the scratching my door, stops for 5 minutes, but then it starts again, then it stops.
Got it.
So is it, I don't know, is it no, like with him practicing, I guess my question is with him practicing the schedule with you guys, he'll be able to sleep through the night?
Yes.
Okay.
You might see a setback at first
Mm-hmm.
because he's going to be thinking, yeah, I'm out of, the facility. I'm back home. This is my town. I can do what I want. I'm back here, right? So, but we'll give you the knowledge and follow-up time to continue everything to make it consistent. Because once you realize, oh, never mind, it's the same thing. Everything will click again. It'll be easier for you. So, expectation-wise, I don't want you to think that. Let's say here he's good, no issues. He sleeps through the night. For board trains, it's a common thoughts for owners to think that when I send my dog somewhere for 2-3 weeks, they come out like a brand new car. No, they're dogs, they're animals, right? Everything needs to have some follow-up and continue with training at home. But the separation part, that's a little bit of it because now he's relying on you and he's wanting to be in your space. The scratching at the door, that it stops, it comes, it stops, and then it just stops at the end is good because now he's letting it go because dogs can't stay in that mindset for a long time, right? Like I can't because it's mentally tiring. Then they're like, I can't do this. I gotta sleep, and he sleeps, right? He lets it go, so that's good. But that's what I mean by like practicing crate training. If he's not interacting with you guys, he should be in the crate so that you don't need to worry about like watching it. What is he doing? What is he doing? Where's the puppy? Where's the puppy? Right? Oh, he's in the kennel. Okay. We don't need to worry about that, right? If he's not interacting with you, he should be in the kennel. If you're not training him, he should be in the kennel. If he's not on a walk, he should be in the kennel, right? Because the kennel actually eliminates certain behaviors. So let's say you start kenneling him, and then let's say you buy a new couch. Since he's kenneled and he's always supervised, and at this time you'll know how to stop certain behaviors, he technically never creates a problem is never created of him chewing the new couch because it was never allowed. He never got to chew the new couch, right? But since he's already kind of free roaming and he's starting to chew things, it's becoming a problem and a habit because he got to it.
Yeah.
For handling him, you're eliminating the problem, right? We'll obviously teach you once you see something happen, what to do to stop that behavior, right? But for now, I would definitely start using that kennel to one, potty train him, and to eliminate and to not create a habit or a behavior that will be more difficult to fix once he's a bigger dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A common goal or maybe a thought for dog owners is I got this dog to be my companion, to be my buddy, right? But then if you're having that relationship of buddy and then that one day you need him to like come to you or you need to discipline him or like sit, right? He's gonna be like, no, you're my buddy, right? Because we don't tell our buddies what to do, right? I have friends, I don't tell them, hey, clean the dishes, right? Clean my dishes, right? That doesn't work like that. You need to be an authority figure to Luca so that when the time comes where you need something to happen, he knows that's mom, I gotta do it. So like Jesse, we use the example visit with his mom, right? My mom takes me out to dinner, she's nice to me, but at the end of the day, she's my mother, right? If she tells me to do something, I will do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind of balancing certain things out, balancing freedom with structure, rules, discipline, and keeping that with your puppy. Just so your puppy recognizes you as a more of an authority figure than a buddy. Any other questions?
Ideally, or not ideally, up to how many hours is it recommended for him to stay in the crate a day?
It just depends how your life looks, right? If I'm a dog, for me being a dog trainer, it's only crate time, and if not in the crate, train time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? That's for me. It's a good way for owners as well too, like a regular dog owner, but there's no right or wrong answer to that. Obviously, if you're doing a very long time and you start seeing barking, your puppy is most likely frustrated because they're pent up all day and they're wanting to do an activity. But that's different. That's that's if like it's like been days without any activity. But the training is one, physically tiring and mentally tiring, so that they're getting their proper and enrichment, I guess is the correct word. But like I said, if he's not like this, like right, see like how he's hanging out with you guys. If he's not doing that, he's in the kennel because again, we don't want to keep watching him and everything like that. But for potty training, it'd be let's say at 2:30 and 4:30, those are his outings. So you let him out at 2:30, you play around with him for like 30 minutes, and you can kennel him back up. And then maybe you wait till 4:30 to potty, and then you play with him again, and then you kennel him back up. Right? Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
What else? Anything else?
I don't know. Do you have any other questions?
We're gonna come and we could keep it in the other room, right?
Yeah, like for example, because like if I have to study or you have to do homework, I think ideally it would be in a bedroom so we could be in the living room.
Sorry, say that again.
Like for example, if we want to hang out in the living room but have him kenneled, ideally the kennel should be like in a different room, you said, right?
Yes, closed door, put a blanket over.
But should we also kennel when we're in the room present?
You can.
I think it'd be more difficult because he would see us.
No, it'll be easier for him because he's with you.
Oh, okay. So ideally it's to do a little bit of both so he gets used to yes with us and then no with us.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would focus more on having him away from you in another room to get him used to the picture. What else? Any other questions? That's a good question though.
Yeah. Well, right now, I think I forgot what size I got. I think I got either a 32-inch or a 36-inch. But like again, he rarely goes in there. Like we just have it, but he like rarely goes in there because when we do try to put him in there, it's like
he goes in there
when he steals something and he wants to go chew on it, he goes inside the crate. Like he'll just run inside when he like steals a shoe or something.
What does he do when you put him in the crate? Like if you want to just stay in there?
He starts like climbing on it, he starts biting it, and then just barking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Oh, exactly. Yeah, we took him to the groomers just to do like just the bathing and for him to get used to like the nail trimming and the cutting and everything. And Peter took him and he asked how he did. And the groomer was like, oh, he did overall pretty good. But when we put him in the kennel to wait for his turn, it was just like constant barking. And we were like, yeah, we know because he does not like the kennel.
Got it.
So we know that's what I'm like worried about. Is there ever like an issue where a dog barks too much in the kennel? Like I don't want this to be an issue for you guys. Like I feel like this one's gonna be a little bit too much.
No, we've never had that issue where we couldn't make a dog stop barking.
Okay, because he hates it.
Like I said, because dogs they can't stay in that mindset for such a long time. What else? Because he's right now, what needs to be taught to him is that the kennel or coming out the kennel is a privilege, not a right. So usually when dogs first come here, you open the kennel, they barge out because like, yeah, I'm out. You're right. No, it is a privilege. It is a privilege that I'm letting you out of this kennel. So once they realize that, they understand, okay, I'm in here, I need to rest. I can only come out when they open the door, right? So there's a way we teach that and everything. We talk to you about it. Other things, like he'll be socialized well with other puppies. We have a little one right now, but I think this puppy's younger. I'll show him to you.
Oh.
So this is Teddy. Teddy's I think like 3 weeks or 2 or 8 weeks. There's a little guy.
Oh.
Luca's a little bit bigger, but we just got today. So Teddy's here for 2-week puppy board and train. We're
Nice.
focusing on potty training, crate training, and all those things I spoke about. But right now he's doing good so far. He's just kind of just hanging out, just chill. No issues so far. He has accents, but he's only having accents when we open the kennel because he gets excited. He starts getting all wiggly, and then when you take him out the kennel, you see little wet spots there. Here as well, so for 2 weeks, we get puppies here for daycare and everything like that. So he'll have buddies and everything that we can help, get him socialized and everything like that. What else? Any other questions?
No, let me see. We haven't tried the crate in a minute, so.
And we'll most likely get to it, but we'll teach him how to walk on a treadmill as well for you guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I know that you could purchase like a 1 week, a 2 week, a 3 week, up to a 4 week. I know that it takes like a certain amount of days for like dogs to get on a schedule. Do you recommend, I know maybe you recommend like a 2 week, or do you recommend a 3 week? Bless you. Or is it possible like for us to do a 2 week and then
split it?
And then like, for example, I bring them back home, and if I'm having trouble, how does that work out? Like if I'm having trouble, can I just do like a follow-up with you guys, or would you recommend like an extra week, or you get what I'm saying?
Personal preference, I'd say. Potty training doesn't happen overnight, but it sounds like he already has a good foundation. He's already pretty solid on that. So I think the 2 weeks for you, 1 week, because it does take time for dogs to get acclimated to the facility. So sometimes he might not even bark. He might just be like, oh, where am I? And just be quiet because he's kind of stressed because he's like, where am I? Then maybe the second week he's getting comfortable. He's like, oh, I get playtime, I get training. These guys are cool. I like it here. So like then we can start to see him become needy because he's like, come on, let me out because I want to train, I want to play, I want to do all these things. And we can start seeing some behaviors pop out. So the 2 week minimum is good. The 4 week is, I'd say, not necessary. Just like the 3 week would be good. And then if you're struggling, like you said, we can just do the follow-up and then I help you with whatever you're struggling with.
Okay.
But, let's say you do 3 weeks, you are more than welcome to come by and visit whenever you want. You can take Luca for a walk, say hi, and then, come back another time. The follow-up lesson can be scheduled whenever. So maybe like at the end of, maybe like halfway through their program, let's do a follow-up. We can do that as well. Kind of keep
like
up.
one follow-up after each week?
You can do that.
You do that? Okay.
Or you can just wait till the program's over. You do your follow-up upon pickup, and then we talk about what happened and what he learned throughout his stay. Because you're also on top of that getting videos of how we're training him. Does that make sense? Hello? Oh, there you go. Okay. What else? Any other questions?
No. I think
So
go ahead.
So program wise, recommend what you said, like what should we do? Puppy, head start, board and train. I think you get the most out of a board and train puppy. The puppy head start, like I said, you get videos here and there if you can, but it's mostly for like owners who need daycare, right?
Yeah.
They also want the puppy getting trained there, but they don't really, it's just positive reinforcement, so they're not really too worried about it. So that's why some owners like it. What else? So yeah, it's kind of up to you. I think you seemed more, how do I say, more, you want more out of your puppy, right? So I think the board and train would be good for you. Anything else?
No.
Good.
Let's say if I start out with 2 weeks and I want to add the other week, can I still get the 3 week like package price instead of just getting charged for like the 1 week? You get what I'm saying?
I think so. No, I think it'll just be like
Like an
because
additional week.
yeah, it'll just be like you'll just buy 1 week. So if you want to buy 3 weeks, you would just buy the 3 week program and then just say, hey,
No,
I
I'm
want
just
to split my program in half, or I want to do the week later.
uh-huh.
I would have to ask because I'm pretty sure I don't see why that wouldn't be allowed, you know. But again, if you do 2 weeks and that's what you buy, and you want another week, you would have to just pay for a full like 1 week board and train program, not the.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
Anything else?
No.
No?
Please answer.
Yeah, I think I've asked everything. Yeah, I think so. I think I got everything covered.
Okay. Who are you in contact with, like email wise? Like who you've been talking to?
Well, email wise, I feel like it goes back and forth because like sometimes it will be with Kim directly, but then sometimes it's like the front desk, someone else, and then sometimes they have me talk to Maria. So I just feel like it's kind of like scattered.
Okay.
I don't have like one specific person I talk to.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell Kim to talk to you directly only, just so it's consistent. And
Yeah.
then she's gonna reach out and it'll be her you're talking to because she sets up the boarding trains and daycare and trains here at the facility. She's the kennel manager. That's her area.
Mhm.
Maria only does in-person stuff. So the puppy boarding trains, the daycare and trains, they're not for her. So it's supposed to be Kim. And then whenever you're ready, you'll let Kim know, hey, you know, because we can only take 4 boarding trains at a time. Right now we have 3. Oh, we have 4 right now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because this
Because
guy.
I think talking to Kim, oh, here's another question. So do you recommend, because I know the puppy you have right now, does he, since he doesn't have all of his shots, he doesn't have the rabies shot, does that limit him from socializing? Do you see it as a set, like, do you recommend, because Luca, I think he's gonna be 4 months in the week, like this first week or second week of October. And that's when Kim recommended, like, okay, she's like, yeah, I would recommend waiting for your shot because that way Luca would be able to enroll and he would be able to like socialize with more dogs than what if he wasn't fully vaccinated. So I don't know. What do you think I should wait until? And I think that's when she said there was going to be like a spot opening. So
Okay.
I kind of like it just kind of fell into place. Like, okay, he'll be 4 months, rabies shot, and there's going to be an opening as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if she's saying that's when the spot is, then you might as well just wait till then.
Okay.
And how long?
It would be October. I think she said the week of October. When is October 13th? It's a Wednesday. Oh, so in 3 weeks, babe? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I think. In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to 3 weeks.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, in 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I would do it then. Because then you're getting two things done at the same time. One is that's if that's just the next time we can take a puppy, then might as well.
Mhm.
What else? With this guy, we're gonna see what we can do with him socialization wise, but most likely probably not, because then this guy, if one puppy gets something, and this puppy happens to be playing with that puppy, this puppy's gonna take it harder, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Good. If any questions do pop up, feel free to email me. You have my email now, right? Enrique at Canine Perspective. Feel free to email me. Other than that, Kim will be in touch. And what else? I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything about the puppy board and train or the daycare and train. But yeah, you know, enjoy your puppy. Don't be too crazy about training and why is he not sitting when I say sit, you know, just have fun with your puppy. Just enjoy him, you know, being a little guy right now. Other than that, it was very nice speaking with you, Diana and Peter, correct, Peter?
Yeah.
Very nice speaking with you guys. Very nice seeing Luca as well. Very funny seeing him constantly riding on that couch in the back.
He is
Right.
something
He has a
else.
thing for comforters, so.
Yeah.
I have just to reiterate it. So puppy board and train that will focus primarily on behavior.
It gives us time to focus on certain behaviors and have it be consistent,
Okay.
right? And you also get so much more information, like videos and follow-up lessons, than
Mhm.
versus the puppy head start program where you only get a video if we can get it done. But you'll definitely still get videos, but there's no
Yeah.
follow-up. And then you only get like a Zoom call to kind of talk about what we did. That's all. Anything else?
No, I guess it's just having me decide if I should do a 2 or a 3 week. I'll probably ask Kim about like if I could purchase 2, and then if we meet halfway and you tell me like, oh, maybe Luca would benefit having an extra week. Kind of like talk to her with the whole packaging stuff to see what's convenient. Yeah.
Alrighty. Again, very nice speaking with you. If anything pops up, feel free to email me, and then we'll be in touch.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a great night, guys.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.